So when I think about my buddy Robert, I also think about his friend Victor. Now, Victor is a character within himself because Victor loves Victor. He is
Uh,
very self-confident and he knows that he's a catch for somebody. Do you feel that confidence or self-confidence is a major component when you're thinking about relationships as a whole? Or do you think sometimes that too much of it can sort of make you like, that's really not my thing right there?
I think self-confidence is a good thing. I do not like cockiness.
Yes.
This is overboard. I'm like,
Yes.
that's a turn off. And so, yeah, confidence and self-aware and who you are, I think are good. But yeah, the too much when
Hmm.
everything revolves around you, um,
Yeah.
and if you can't focus on someone else, because relationships, is both people are giving. So if you're just
Mhm.
all about you, then um you're in a relationship with yourself.
You are.
So yeah,
That is
that's no
true.
good.
That's true. I think that when you notice that characteristic in a person right off the bat, you already get a picture of like this is sort of what's going to be like if we get into a relationship, and that relationship can even be a friendship. No one wants to have a friend that every time you go out and do something, you're always doing what that person wants to do. You're just like,
Right.
well, why am I even here? It's just like you want what is it? You want a crowd to your overall individual components. You don't really want any involvement. You just want somebody to sort of boost you up even more.
Right. It's about your confidence and how they make you feel.
Hmm.
You know.
Good. All right. So I hope you guys are listening out there that no one wants to be around someone that only wants to think about them, that's sort of narcissistic in some view, that everything in the world revolves around them and they're not really interested in anyone else feedback and things like that. Now, another unique item that sort of comes to my mind when I think of Robert is a scene when he and Victor are in the gym. They are two who believe that your body is a temple and you got to, take care of yourself and things like that. But one day while they were talking, Robert had the concept that he was looking for something new. He said his involvement that he's been having with women, it's been good, but it seems like everything is sort of a pattern. And Victor was just like, what do you mean, man? Like, I mean, I like the interaction I'm getting. So what kind of interaction you're getting? And so he said that the concept for him was that he didn't really want to settle down with one particular woman. This is Victor talking now. One particular woman, because he
That's about
felt like
right.
that. He said all women just want to change men. They're not really desiring them as an individual. They just want to change them into who they have already put in their mind they want them to be. Do you feel that many men hold the same view?
I don't know about many. I know that there are guys who do.
Yeah.
And I kind of do hate that, because it's not true.
Yeah.
Um, um, I don't believe that all men have that thought. I do know that some of them do. I'm hoping it's not most, because that's not what all women think, and I'm one of those women. So I'm
Mhm.
like, I kind of hate, that saying. I will
Mhm.
acknowledge that there are women who do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Unfortunately,
but yeah, hopefully it's not most. We got to
yeah,
change the narrative.
we do. And thinking of that, it makes me think about other myths that we, as women and men as well, carry about each other. What are some myths that you may have heard, or someone may have said to you about the opposite sex that you think that we sometimes hold on to?
Let me think, because I don't be listening.
Yeah,
I
I
don't be,
know.
I don't be
Just like,
listening to
oh,
people.
okay.
I read stuff and I'm like, okay, there is another guy who does not think that way.
Yeah.
I think on social media, I've been seeing a lot of things about uh, um, just men who think, or it could be like, the man who wants to change the woman, or it could be the man who doesn't want the woman to do anything. She's only there
Mhm.
to serve him.
Oh, wow.
Um, and So it's like looking for a man who allows you to be you
Hmm.
without wanting to change you, so that
Hmm.
your only purpose in life is to only serve him when God has given us both purpose.
Yes.
I think this.
I think I love what you said here, and then I'll come back to the segment of it, that each individual has purpose in a relationship. And I think sometimes, and when I spoke to someone earlier, they were talking about having both roles, the concept of being dependent, but also having independency. And so being able to depend on that person and connect with them with the level of vulnerability, but still having your own individual natures that you can connect with and thrive from. And that person sort of supports you in those different roles and things like that. That was sort of one of the quotes that Constance, which is another character in the book, was saying, that her newfound dependency on the new relationship that she was developing never undercut her overall independence in herself. And I think that that's huge, because some women would think like, I don't necessarily give up all of who I am just to be with him or something like that. Because I think maybe some of our parents and our grandparents, that was sort of their role, that once they got married, everything became just about that. And it was significant because they were able to keep a household together and balance things out. But of course, as society has changed and expectations and rule have changed, and even roles in life has changed, a lot of that sometimes can't be the only mindset that people hold and harbor anymore.
Right.
So cool deal. Now, a myth that sort of comes to my mind that I often hear is that women always think that men are players. Do you believe that that's what a lot of women still hold on to now that we're in 2021? Is that still something that's viable now, or is that sort of a view in the past?
No, I think it's viable now. I think, there are players out there. Not all men are players. There are some good men.
Yes.
But I think as things get even crazier in this dating world, relationships, I think a lot of women are losing hope and are like, just like all men are players, all men are dogs, all men cheat. And I hate that perspective, because I feel as though maybe that woman hasn't been exposed to men who don't, or that, know that there's some good men out there. So you don't have to accept this, because this is not all men. But yeah, that is a myth that is out there, and players do exist, but that's not every guy.
Exactly.